Yeah. We back with another one. Yeah.
What's going on, Juco?
We reacting over here. I'm El Jefe. We just gonna like and subscribe. Have fun. Kick back. Myth Cartel. Y'all like and subscribe because you're gonna love it. This is the Smith Cartel channel. Go ahead and like, subscribe. We gonna keep going fed until we go live. I'm El Jefe, the big boss, kicking at third coast. We going, running, smiling, man. We doing the most to my family. I wish you the best. Remember what Jefe taught you, boy. Say it with your chest. Big boy, big boss. I rock it in the South. Got these folks slugs and all this gold shining in my mouth. I'm the man, understand, like and subscribe. We gon' keep spinning the block until we get it right. Yeah, that's real, like and subscribe, that's the channel. We keep it real, give you more than you can handle. Yeah, like and subscribe. Smith Cartel, I'm El Jefe. All right. Smith Cartel channel. Y'all like and subscribe to the channel. We back with another one. I'm Jefe. I'm gonna be your host. Let's get it. Let's see what we got. I don't know. I ain't seen it yet. 1090 Jake back in the building. He back in the building. So we're gonna see what's going on. I don't know. Said something about Larry Hoover. Let's see. Larry Hoover, the gangster disciple founder who told after being shot. Okay, let's see what happened. I don't know. All right, y'all. Y'all like and subscribe. Let's see what's going on.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. For this video, we're going to be speaking on some prehistoric paperwork that hit the internet that I'm not even responsible for, but I fact-checked it. And in this video, we're going to be speaking on Larry Hoover identifying two rival gang members to police that shot him.
Tell him, bruh. Who free, bruh? My mother, he free. Who? Larry Hoover, he free, bruh. Yes, sir. Larry free. They mad that we is GD. Free them gangsters. Free Larry Hoover.
Now, President Trump just gave the presidential middle finger to anyone who ever called him racist after not only pardoning NBA YoungBoy who's about to go on a mega tour, but commuting the sentence of the Larry Hoover.
His name is Larry Hoover. He's the reputed leader of the black gangster Disciple Street Gang, one of the largest in the nation. For 20 years, he's been locked behind prison walls because of a murder conviction. This week, he goes before the state parole board, and he could soon be a free man.
Done my time. I paid my debt to society. Anytime you do a extensive amount of time, it can have two effects. It can harden you, or it can make you think. And I've thought.
Now, for those that don't know, Larry Hoover is the founder and former leader of the Gangster Disciples, a major street gang based in Chicago that spread from the Midwest, dominating parts of the South, and even reaching out to the Northeast. To this day, many prominent rappers are members of the Gangster Disciples, while other rappers have been known sworn enemies to the Gangster Disciples. Larry Hoover, a kingpin, gang lord, murderer, is a man whose name has held power for over 50 years. But today, his legacy is in question as the unthinkable has happened. Remo from No Jumper would post to Instagram a photo of what appears to be prehistoric paperwork, detailing a shooting in which Larry Hoover himself was the victim. Parker High School sat in the Inglewood neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. On September 4th, 1968, it was the first day of school, and it would be turned to a crime scene. Leader of the Supreme Gangsters, 18-year-old Larry Hoover informed the police that he was standing in the school hall just outside the principal's office when two members of the East Side Disciples appeared. They were identified as 18-year-old James Highsmith and 20-year-old Leonard Longstreet, and they did not go to Parker High. Hoover told police the two walked past me in the hall, and Highsmith smiled. Then Longstreet said, "Burn him," and Highsmith pulled a gun and started shooting. I got hit. Larry Hoover, the 18-year-old leader of the Supreme Gangsters that came before the Gangster Disciples' creation, flat out told the police two rival gang members entered his school and shot him. Bullets struck two other students, both 15 years old. Larry and the two others were all shot in the legs and rushed to a hospital. Only minutes after the shooting, police arrested the two gang members who were out on bond for two separate shootings.
Oh, man.
A Cook County grand jury would indict the two men on charges of aggravated battery on Larry Hoover. Now, this is going to piss a lot of people off, but before I do that, I wanted to confirm whether this was even true, because this didn't seem to be an arrest report. This looked like a newspaper clipping. So I dug into the Chicago Tribune dating back 57 years ago, and what I found was page 14 of the Chicago Tribune from September 5th, 1968, the day after the shooting. The article was titled, "Police Arrest 2 in Shooting of 3 Students, Gang Rivalry Blamed for Violence." 3 youths were shot down in Parker High School in what police described as a continuing battle between rival street gangs. Inglewood police said the shooters were identified by the victims in the hospital and several other witnesses. The police identified Larry Hoover as a gang member, and again, the article would state Hoover told police who shot him and how it happened. Now, this would be considered snitching by anyone following the quote-unquote code. But what about the one who created the code? This was Larry fucking Hoover, the founder of the Gangster Disciples, a man whose name is at the top of Chicago gang lore along with Al Capone. And this wasn't the last time he'd be mentioned in a newspaper. 2 years later, it was 1970, and Hoover was one of 3 arrested for gunning down a 19-year-old on 69th. 3 years after that, a 24-year-old was kidnapped and shot to death. Hoover would be picked up on a murder warrant, and a week later, a witness set to testify against Hoover was found dead on the south side with 2 holes in the back of his head. It was too late though. The 26-year-old had already given a deposition to police stating he witnessed Hoover and another man kidnap the victim the day before the victim was murdered. They dumped his body in an alley, allegedly because he was suspected of stealing drugs from the gang's supply. This murder was what took Larry Hoover off the streets of Chicago at the age of 23. Deemed a ruthless killer who'd been involved in multiple shootings and murders, Hoover was sentenced to 200 years in state prison.
200 years.
Hoover continued to lead the
That's a
Gangster
long
Disciples, which led to a 17-year federal investigation. In 1995, Hoover was indicted by the feds from state prison and 2 years later sentenced to 6 federal life sentences for conspiracy, extortion, money laundering, drugs, and continuing to engage in a criminal enterprise. Larry Hoover ran the Illinois state prison system like a gangster disciple warden. So the feds took him where he'd be helpless, stripping him of all power. In prison since 1973, Hoover spent nearly 30 years at ADX Florence, the federal supermax. His neighbors would be terrorists, mass killers, and cartel leaders. His cell could only hold 1 man. A shower would be brought to his cell, and his mail would be seen through a screen as physically touching it was too much of a privilege. Larry Hoover, for the last 30 years, has been in a cold concrete hell until now. Trump commuted the sentence of Larry Hoover, which led many to believe Hoover was going to be a free man. But many fail to realize Hoover was serving 200 years before the feds stepped in, and he has to finish it. A bittersweet victory for those that know him, as he's one step closer to home, being now that he'll be back in Illinois. But at 78 years old, It isn't known how long he has to continue fighting for his
Since he
freedom.
was 23, he's
One would assume
78.
he'd be treated like a god in Illinois State Prison. The man is a Chicago legend, but one can
That's
also
crazy.
wonder, why is it always when someone's about to be released, paperwork comes out of nowhere? We saw the same thing happen with Big Meech, and how everyone, including Meech, thought he'd be welcomed home like royalty, and instead, the former drug lord is doing Instagram promo. But what about
that's
the
crazy.
GDs? How are they gonna react to reading the clear black and white of Larry Hoover, the very founder of their beliefs, identifying the two rival gang members who shot him when he was 18? Does it not count because it was so long ago, or because Hoover became so powerful? Nobody dared talk about this
nobody
thing
was gonna
without
call
the
it, I
risk
guess.
of being killed. As of May 29, 2025, Larry Hoover is no longer in federal.
We're a fragrance company, but we also have a lot of technology that we use. I have team
He had
members
been in
that
there a
are out
long
of this
time, though,
country.
I ain't gonna lie.
To connect with them
been
is
in there
really
for a
important.
whole
I
hot minute.
traded a 9 to 5 for a 5 to 9. It's a lot of work, but I love it.
Game of Thrones King's Road is now available for both PC and mobile with Google Play Games.
Federal custody, and according to the Illinois Department of Corrections, he's been transferred to Dixon Correctional Center.
Yeah, that's
medium
a
security
he's
prison.
medium. So I was like,
Hoover's
he gonna.
current release date
I mean, they ain't gonna put him in
is
there anyway.
October
He's 70 something, 74.
2066. Now I'm gonna say this first and foremost, and with all due respect. If you weren't born in the 50s or the 60s or are a direct relative of Larry Hoover, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Because if you're one of these GDs that's my age, 30 or younger or even older, talking about why are you talking about it, he don't even know who the fuck you are. This man's been in prison since 1973.
Since forever and a day.
So you can save all that gangster shit. I don't want a bunch of pitchforks emojis on my fucking Instagram. I don't give a fuck, to be honest. But it's very interesting that this paperwork came out of nowhere, right? I don't know who had this shit. I don't know if the Stones was holding it. I don't know if somebody was waiting for it, right? But they literally waited until his sentence got commuted, which nobody expected, and then boom, this shit hits the internet.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know where it came from.
Like, it's funny how you.
But I
you-
looked
you
into
see?
it, and yes, I found multiple articles detailing what took place.
There be stuff out there people be holding on
And
to.
that's what happened. Larry Hoover got shot on his first day of school.
Damn.
He's most likely a senior since he was 18.
Yeah, 18,
Two
probably
rival
senior.
gang members walked into school and shot him out front of the principal's office.
Right in front of the
That's some
principal's office.
gangster shit.
Yeah.
This doesn't make you look at Chicago like, holy fuck, it's
Like,
been
they
like
smiled
that
at him in this
forever.
shot.
This was in the 60s.
Yeah.
They're walking in schools with guns and popping off in the fucking hallway. This shit was like that in the 60s. He got hit with a 32, which is probably why he survived. But
Yeah.
then apparently Hoover went on a killing spree and was just
Yeah, just went and
smacking
started
shit.
smacking everybody down.
And,
He started belting their ass on everybody.
You gotta understand, Hoover got taken off the street at 23 years old.
And he's 74 now.
This man was a certified
Yeah, he was a real
smacker.
deal.
leader.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, if you go by the paperwork, he's also what? He'd be considered a snitch, right? He identified the two people that shot him, and they were rival gang members.
Yeah.
And the police went to their house and got them. Now, he wasn't the only one that identified them, but he did.
Yeah. He did. I mean, he
And
ain't
there's
lying.
nothing that can really, there's
He
not
ain't
an
speaking nothing
excuse
but
for
facts.
that, you know what I mean? There's nothing that somebody can say that's like, because people will say all types of things as snitching. That's way less than what this is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a current rapper to this day
guess
that
that,
could
man.
identify the
See, a
two
little
people that
bit.
shot him by name and say what gang they're a part of and not be shunned from hip hop.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't really give a fuck though. Do I think the GDs are gonna disown Larry Hoover? No. But I'm interested in seeing how this does play out because conversations are gonna happen over this.
Yeah.
This is the man that literally gave an entire nation basically their codes to live by.
Yeah, the whole guideline for them.
And Gangster Disciples, growth and development, what it turned into is more so a positive movement, but it's a gang at the end of the fucking day. We'll just have to see. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments section. I never knew you could get paperwork that goes this far back.
That me neither. 1968, that's crazy.
And I have the news
that's crazy
in this video. Y'all can see it. Y'all can look it up for yourselves. It ain't a secret. It's been out for fucking 57 years. So let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments section.
That's crazy.
It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, or y'all rocking with me.
All right, Jake. Whew. Let me speak on it. It's crazy because, but let me say this first. First off, and first and foremost, when it comes to all of that stuff, it's all goofy. Okay? Everything in the streets is goofy. From start to finish, man. It's all goofy. And a lot of it is just doesn't make any sense. It's like the streets want you to get shot by somebody and not say anything, and then you try to get back on your own. And it's a 50-50 chance you going to get them or they going to get you the next time around. It's weird. Like, that's the weirdest. It's weird as hell. I don't get it, man. I couldn't tell you. I don't get it. All I do know is, like, I ain't got to worry about that because you come messing with me. You ain't going to worry. We ain't going to have to go through no trial, no tribulation. I ain't even going to have to tell the police that you did it because you ain't going to make it from where you going. I'm going to leave you where I find you. Do your homework on that. But like I said, it's crazy because you go all the way back to 1968. Somebody held that on until 1968. Somebody found that and held on to that until he got commuted. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy work. And y'all be talking about people, oh, they my homies, they got my back. They ain't got nothing. But, I really don't care one way or another. I don't care. Let's be honest. I'm going to be real with y'all. Just being off of me, I don't care. Number one, because I don't do anything with anybody anyway. I'm doing it alone. That's first off, and first and foremost. And third and second, you ain't going to know anything about what I did anyway. So I don't really care what that person did. If he got to go do what he got to do. Nobody knows the situation. Like, they had one, I forgot, what was that rapper's name? He looked like a little boy, man. They said when he was like a kid or something happened and he told the people that there's some gun or something. I think they spot him, got him or whatever. And they kept saying, oh, he snitched. That boy was a baby. Dude, y'all got to go on with that. That boy was a baby. And then you pick and choose, the ghetto, the hood, picks and choose on who they allow to let snitch and who they don't. That's crazy. Come on, man. Get off that, man. I mean, because you got to think about it like this. If somebody gets into it with somebody and they trying their hardest to be reserved about they ain't trying to act out of character, and they keep telling this person, man, leave me alone. Don't bother me. I'm trying to let you make it. And that person's still goofy and don't realize it, and then that person pops them, they going to spin the narrative, whatever narrative they want it to be. The police, the detectives, everybody. But if somebody come and approach you and you try not to hurt them, especially people you finna just rip their whole from butthole to appetite, just ugh, and you trying your hardest, man. It's even girls. I mean, that's crazy. Like it's just the craziest thing you think about. Like, they tell you don't call the police, but do a crime. So you can go to jail and we can say you a street person. You crazy as hell. My ex-wife, about 2 weeks ago, my ex-wife came to my house. I ain't talked to this woman in almost a year. I ain't spoke to her, spoke her name, none of that. I ain't spoke to this woman at all. This woman came to my house beating and kicking on my door like I had talked to her the day before that. And I looked at her, looking like, what the hell is she talking about? I ain't talked to this woman in almost a year. And that's the thing I'll be saying, like, stuff like, you got to know, though. But see, my ex-wife also know that she ain't talking to her auntie or her mama and them because I let her make it. Okay, I could have. All rights, dead to rights. She know it. She gonna always know in her heart that she here because I allowed her to be. That she's trying to break into my house. Again. Anybody in Texas know what I had the right to do. So she only here because I allowed her to be. And that was only because Jesus was holding my shoulder that day. But listen, you people do stuff like that. You got somebody that come to your house and harass you all the time. Like the first time she broke into my house, the neighbors called the laws. The laws was in my face. And I was like, I ain't do nothing wrong. This one broke into my house. You know, and then you know, so then you come back and start kicking and beating on my door. You know, and it's like, okay, I didn't even realize that. But let me tell you, I was in the back room, my back office. Excuse me. I had a 5-bedroom house. So when I was in my back office, I was in there recording and I had music playing and stuff, and I'm up there recording videos and reacting. I ain't had nothing. These Sonys is on point. And so when I did take them off to let my dog out, that's when I heard somebody kicking and beating on my door. I said, who the hell? And I was like, So I go to check. And this woman over here kicking and beating on my door and stuff. And I looked on my Echo, my little, whatever you call it, Echo Alexa. I said, what the hell is going on here? So, yeah, I had to let her know what the devil looked like. But I mean, but then then she called the laws on me and told them to come arrest me in my house. She's like, I want y'all to take him to jail because I don't like him. And because he don't like me. And I'm sitting out there with my baby and everything, me and my sister and my baby, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And so the laws even said that. They said, man, it went off a rock. And they ended up giving her a ticket for coming to my house and, you know, being on my property and everything. But the crazy part is now that they gave her a ticket and said, you can't come back over here, if she was to step on my property and do anything and I did something, now I have the paperwork to prove it. Okay, look, this is what's been going on. But it's crazy how in the street, they'll say you can't do that. You crazy in the mother. Because I want to have a reason why I'm a pop a mother. I want them to know why I popped you. I ain't finna be playing no games. I ain't finna go on no 16 hours of them trying to figure it out either. No. But that's what I'm saying. You got sometimes in those situations, just like how, so if a man's getting beat and hit by a woman, he's at his house, and just a scenario, and he at her house, and she got mad at him for something. She started hitting on him and stuff. He pull out his phone and start recording. Is that snitching? He recording, he go live. Is that snitching? He telling on her. So I'm saying it doesn't fit the narrative. The only reason no snitching came was because people want to be able to get away with crimes. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, but it's 2025. You ain't getting away with nothing. I don't give a damn what you do. Unless you slick, unless you really, really know, you ain't getting away with nothing. There's too many cameras everywhere. Way too many. There's cameras you don't even know about. How you think my ex-wife got caught? I got so many cameras on my house, you don't even see them. She's standing there with her big old forehead, no hairline, having 500-pound, 5'3" looking butt, talking about, cupcake coming out, with a new donut. You better get your fat ass on my porch. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? But she ain't know them cameras was there, man. And that's another thing. Y'all gotta get y'all some cameras and stuff, man. Because, you know, that way it'll help you to know what's going on around you, man. You gotta know what's going on around you. I never forget one time I was watching cameras when I worked at, and I was watching them just routine watching them. And I seen a whole shootout on the cameras that never even made the news or nothing. In the middle of the night, in the parking lot. And I was like, it wasn't in my parking lot, but it was a parking lot that was next to my stove. And I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah, you don't know what you're going to see on them cameras, man. You don't know what you're going to see. I mean, this is it. I'm hoping I'm going to catch some paranormal activity stuff because I want to see something like that. Ooh, I don't give a damn about that else. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, and a lot of people going to come after Hoover for that, and it's stupid. It's stupid, man. That man, 74 years old. Y'all better leave him alone. He done been in there since he was 23. I think he did enough. That That is crazy. But, man, y'all like and subscribe to the channel, Smith Cartel channel, man. We're going to go back with another one. I just wanted to see what he was talking about because I didn't know what 1090 Jake was talking about. But shout out to 1090 Jake, man. I'm Hefe. I'm going to see y'all on the next one, man. That was crazy to me when he said it. So, all right, y'all. I'll see y'all again. All right.